Exactly, and they got it wrong. Just like how they got Roe versus Wade wrong, and we got that repealed. The point being is the Supreme Court can get things wrong. The idea, it's very simple. It's that if you think you can just get on a Delta Airlines flight from Paris and all of a sudden your kid becomes a U.S. citizen, that devalues the meaning of what it is to be a citizen.
Should we hold the children who do not choose to come here accountable for their parents' actions?
Yes! Yes! Hold them accountable! Yes!
How are you doing this afternoon? I am proud to be conservative. I'm proud to be an American, and I think we would agree on most things. But one thing that I'm here to dispute you on is
Israel?
Trump's executive order to overturn birthright citizenship.
Oh, okay.
Which you posted on X 2 months ago that the Supreme Court has never reviewed the 14th Amendment regarding birthright citizenship.
Not correctly, yeah.
Have you heard of Wong versus Kimmark?
Yeah,
or Wong
it's a
versus
BS.
America. What about
I'm drawing from a lot of memory on this, so I'm going to have to plead a little bit of
That's fine.
memory erosion.
I have a shallow understanding. But both of those cases ruled that regardless of national origin, the children of immigrants will become U.S. citizens. It is
not just the children of immigrants. It's not just that.
It's the exception for diplomats.
The children of visitors become U.S. citizens.
Right, and
so for example, a pregnant woman can leave China who's 8 months pregnant, get a 90-day visitor visa, and then her baby becomes a U.S. citizen.
That's facts. That's facts. They can definitely do that. The United States, our entire concept of citizenship says if you are born in U.S. soil or on U.S. soil, you are a U.S. citizen. And the reason why it was written that way is because a lot of things in the Constitution, I believe, or in our laws are written on good faith, meaning that the people who wrote this didn't expect people to take advantage of it. I don't know why, because in hindsight, you're probably like, oh, why would they do that? But back then, they're probably thinking about it differently. So today, what people do is they would get on a plane, they will fly to a country and have their child there so that their child can be a citizen, a dual citizenship with the United States. It got so bad that people even sometimes do that with states. They want their child born in a certain state so that they can get child support for that state's laws. So yes, people take advantage of it, or illegal immigrants would come over and they would have a child in America so their child is a citizen of America. That's just what's happening. I didn't say if it was right or wrong. You could make that decision. But nonetheless, they're having a debate on it. Let's see who wins.
How is it being implemented now? If you come here illegally, your children are what? What are they?
They become U.S. citizens.
And that's the Supreme Court precedent. So the executive order to overturn it is illegal.
No, it's very much legal. It's challenging the prior Supreme Court decision. But let's go back to my example. You can fly to China and literally just come here as a visitor, show up at a hospital, and they will give you a U.S. passport, and your kid becomes a U.S. citizen. You understand we are one of the only countries in the industrialized world that has birthright citizenship.
And I am proud to be that. We are a country of immigrants. See,
we're not. No. We're a country of settlers, not of immigrants.
Okay.
That's a big distinction. Let me tell you the difference. Settlers are people that build a new country that was barren. Immigrants come to a country already built. The people who built this country, they went west to an unconquered, barren country and built a new society. Immigrants helped enrich it. They helped grow it upon that. But the foundation of America were settlers, not immigrants. That is a talk.
Settlers and slaves. I just want to add that into it. Settlers and slaves. I have to say it, man. I have to say it.
Talking point
we
that is
have
overused
no
way too
unifying
much.
religion, no unifying race, no unifying national origin. But what we do share is that if you were born on the soil, you have an inherent birthright to the benefits of American citizenship. And when you
that's a huge mistake.
And that's a huge mistake. So you disagree with 200 years of precedent.
Yes.
Have you read what was discussed during the passage of the 14th
Founding Fathers, first
Amendment?
and foremost, never wanted all of a sudden a pregnant woman to be able.
And here's the thing. I don't understand why students act like it's so crazy to disagree with the Constitution. According to the original Constitution, there were people who were written to be 3/5 of a human. People disagree with it and they changed it. A lot of there are things in the Constitution that are amended to be changed. So yes, Charlie Kirk can disagree with people coming here and having kids and taking advantage of a rule. He can disagree with that. It is nothing wrong with that. People to this day disagree with the Constitution because guess what? We pay taxes. We're adults. We're going to get older and we're going to read the laws and we're going to say, I don't agree with that. Let's change it. That's what happens. And he's acting like he's really going to sit here and pretend like people aren't taking advantage of the rule. People and Donald Trump himself, I remember when this decision came out because I looked into it. I read the executive order. He said the reason why he did this is because that rule was written specifically for the children of slaves, or was written for people who are ancestors of the slave trade in America. That's why I emphasized settlers and slaves earlier. So he said that rule is not written for today. Whether you agree or disagree with him, that's your prerogative. But today, it is true that people definitely take advantage of the rule. And some people are noticing it and they're saying, I disagree with it, and I'm going to fight to change it. That's just how laws get changed. That's how society works.
To get on, they didn't have airplanes back then, go across the ocean, and all of a sudden they become a U.S. citizen.
Those who drafted the 14th Amendment did.
Yeah, the 14th Amendment was in what year?
1866.
Yeah, exactly. Way past the founding era.
So you don't
Number
agree
two,
with
the 14th Amendment was largely applicable to free slaves.
I understand that was a purpose, but it has
14th
also been extended to those who come here
Exactly. No,
illegally
you're right. It has been wrongly extended. You know the 14th
by the
Amendment?
Supreme Court.
Exactly, and they got it wrong. Just like how they got Roe versus
said
Wade wrong,
this.
and we got that repealed.
Yes,
The point being is the
said
Supreme
this.
Court can get things wrong. The idea, it's very simple. It's that if you think you can just get on a Delta Airlines flight from Paris, and all of a sudden your kid becomes a U.S. citizen, that devalues the meaning of what it is to be a citizen.
Should we hold the children who do not choose to come here accountable?
Bruh,
for
I'm
their
tired
actions?
of... Yes! Hold them accountable! Yes! And I hate the fact that he said this, because what do you even mean by hold them accountable? The children aren't getting sent to jail. They're not getting punished. They're just not being granted citizenship. And this concept is not a crazy one to say. Other countries already are making more strict to get citizenship. He's acting as if the U.S. doing this is just some crazy, out of the ordinary thing. And Charlie Kirk is not being unreasonable here. He's not saying anything crazy. Mind you, this is supposed to be a super conservative debate. What he's saying is not ultra conservative. It's not ultra. It's just like America needs to tighten up how we give citizenship. He didn't even say how he would do it. So the fact that the student is so adamant about not doing that, it really creeps me out a little bit. Because even if you are okay with the United States citizenship and it being more lenient, you don't even want to look into changing it at all. Like, you don't want to look into amending it in any type of way ever at all. I'm a little weirded out by that, but let's continue.
There are some countries that...
Well,
like,
if you're already a citizen, you're a citizen. We're not going to revoke what's
Right, but
already
once
happened.
if it becomes overturned, do we want to create second-class citizens who aren't
No, they're
citizens of another
citizens.
country?
Yes, they're citizens of another country. Go back to your own country.
Except if they come from India, they come here and a child is born. That child is not a citizen of
Correct.
India, nor would they be a citizen of here. Then you have like
No, they
ghost
are a
citizens.
citizen of India. That's not
They're
true.
not.
Yes, they are. The parents are Indian citizens, and that's how it works in India, is that the citizenship goes to the parents. So that's the point, is that they can go back to their own country, and they can go live in India.
So the children should be deported as soon as they're born here.
Yes, with their parents, absolutely.
You don't think that we should give them? We shouldn't encourage them to become productive members of
No.
American society?
No.
Do you believe in the American dream?
Yes, of course, for American citizens, not for every
Oh, I
person around the
agree.
planet.
Thank you, bro. Like, what are we talking about? I don't even know how we got to this point. We're fighting for the American dream for non-Americans. And here's my problem with this. It's not even the fact that non-Americans are getting the American dream. I don't think that's an issue necessarily. I think the American dream is symbolic. My problem is that we're having full-on debates, full-on conversations and debates about people who are not American citizens. We're having full-on debates about hypothetical illegal immigrants of some sort or tourists of some sort, when we should be talking about Americans. And we strayed so far from it. We think this is normal, and it's not normal.
I agree. I think we all agree.
Yes, it's not our job to open up our borders to every sad story around the planet.
Exactly, the adults, but the children did not choose to cross the border. They did not choose to come here.
Okay.
They have been placed here.
Exactly, so don't punish them by separating the mom and dad. They can all go back to their country of origin. It's very simple.
But that's not the law. That's not how it's been. Do you think that would be
Hold on,
productive for American society?
Hold on, that's the interpretation of the 14th Amendment. We're talking about two different things. We're talking about birthright citizenship, and then we're talking about kids that are crossed when they're already born. The point being is this, and President Trump's executive order is phenomenal. It goes back to this very basic question. What does it mean to be a citizen? And we're throwing around citizenship like frisbees every day. You're a citizen, you're a citizen, you're a citizen. And it dilutes the meaning of the citizen, of what it means to be a U.S. citizen. We need to bring it back to actually say, hey, you have to earn your citizenship. You are not given your citizenship.
So the children who a child doesn't choose to be born between someone who comes here illegally and someone who is already a citizen. That person did not choose that. There's no accountability.
Yes,
I will say though, how do you earn citizenship? I don't know what that means necessarily, and the reason why I don't know what that means is because I didn't earn my citizenship. My parents were born, my parents and great parents, and everyone was born here. I'm a Black American, but I didn't earn citizenship. You're born into citizenship unless you get like a, I don't know, green card or you take the test. I don't really know how that process works. I'm not gonna lie. But if you were born in America, you didn't earn citizenship. What Charlie Kirk is arguing is that he wants to change the concept of how the amendments play out for birthright citizenship. And in definition, if you get birthright citizenship, you didn't earn birthright citizenship. You were just born into it. But I do understand what he's saying. He's saying that America needs to be a little more strict on how we define what a citizen of America is. And to some extent, I agree. At least temporarily, America should be a little more strict with that, because I don't think it's right to get on a plane 3 days before your child is born and then your child becomes a dual citizen of Japan and America. I don't think that's I don't know. I don't think it's right. Let me know what you guys think.
There's kids in Namibia that didn't choose to be born in Namibia.
Exactly.
It's not our
But
concern
that's the
to
great
import
thing
them.
about America is that by being here, you offer them the extension for the
See,
opportunities.
I
that are
disagree.
associated
I
with
think
American
that
citizenship.
I think on the surface it's a great thing about America. I think it's us having generosity being turned into compromising our values used against us. At time, generosity can turn into an overindulgence. You could become too generous, where you are borrowing money that you don't have. We're doing that. Where you're giving citizenship where it dilutes. Yes, we are a generous nation, and our virtues have become our vices.
What does it dilute? What does a child being born here having birthright?
You know what? You know what it
What
dilutes?
does that take away from us?
It first of all,
They pay taxes.
First of all, number one, it dilutes a lot.
What does it dilute?
Can I get to it? Dilutes a lot. Number one, it dilutes legal immigrants that are full adults that had to apply to come
And
here.
I agree. So we should stop illegal immigration.
Well,
but
no,
there will
legal.
always be
I said
some.
legal
I
immigration.
agree.
Right. Number two is that I actually want the idea of being a U.S. citizen, that you are here or born here because your parents did something to allow you to be here. Not just that you got on a nonstop flight from Seoul, South Korea, and you happen to fall and your water breaks and you're suddenly a U.S. citizen.
That's what he means by earn it. I kind of figured that's what he meant, meaning that your parents earned it for you through some sort of event. So your great grandparents. Yeah, it makes sense.
Devalues the entire meaning of what it means. Everybody here has a unique story of what your parents did for allow you to live in this country. That's called a social compact. Some of you guys, your parents came here, and your ancestors came here in the 1700s. Some of them came here in the early 1900s. But if all of a sudden you can gain entry and cut in line, it dilutes the sacrifices primarily of the greatest generation from World War II that allowed us to live here, and it is an insult to them to say that we can live in a free society. I want to get to the next question.
Let me know what you guys thought about this debate. I thought it was pretty interesting. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me. My name is Jojo.